All right, a few important pieces of information. We are in week 15 right now. There are 17 weeks of classes plus a finals week after that. So, reminder one, your final projects are getting close to being due. All right, so your final projects, they're going to be due on the Wednesday of the last week of classes, so that's week 17. All right, so week 17 is when that's going to be due, and so I'll have multiple places where you can click submit, but you have these two assignments that are due for you, right? The final project presentation and the write-up and code submission. So just keep track of when those are going to be due and make sure to record your presentation ahead of time, well ahead of time, so that you don't have to worry about uploading it at the very last minute, because that could pose a problem. All right, so just keep your eye on both of those. Those will be due the Wednesday of the last week of classes. So that's the 4th. Okay. So keep that one in mind. That's your first reminder. And then let's also talk about the final exam. Okay, so I promised a final exam on the Monday and Tuesday of finals week. So here's the week 18 module. I'll release that to you, and you'll get to see the final info page and the extra credit assignment page. All right, and then eventually, of course, I'll release the final too. So here is the info about the final. It will be available, same kind of time range, but it's going to be the Monday and Tuesday of finals week. So December 9th to December 10th, 2 p.m. on the 9th to 8 p.m. on the 10th. All right, so keep that in mind, Monday through Tuesday. Finals are meant to be a little bit longer than like a midterm, so you'll get an hour and 50 minutes to take it. But honestly, your final is it's worth less than a midterm in this class, because I've given a lot of credit towards your final project as well. So yeah, I'm gonna write this with a midterm length in mind, but you'll just have extra time to take it. So that's quite nice. All right. So here are the topics that the final, we'll treat it honestly like a third midterm almost. So I'll focus on these topics. Obviously, because everything builds on top of itself, I can't just say oh no, nothing from midterm 1 and 2, those topics will appear, but I'll focus on these, and yeah, here's some things that you might see. Okie dokie. So keep that all in your head, study hard, and yeah, the format's the same as before, the rules are the same as before. Here's a sample final that you can look through. So yeah, that's the logistics of the final exam. And with every exam comes extra credit. So we got one last extra credit assignment for the class. This will be worth up to 5% extra credit. So for the big bucks. Okay, so yeah, no late submissions as usual. This will be due on the 8th at midnight, because that is when, right, that's right, the day before the final comes out. That'll do it. And yeah, your requirements are always the same as usual. All right, so make a review video, go over a bunch of examples, pretend to be a teacher, do all those fun things. All right, if you want a quarter of the extra credit, make a 10-minute video. 2.5, like we used to have, make a 20-minute video. If you want the full 5%, make a 40-minute video. Okay, going over a bunch of stuff, giving a mini lecture. All right, honestly, almost a full-length lecture. So yeah, just make sure you're creating something new, writing some new code, new slides and things. Don't just go over things that I've given you, because that's not extra. And yeah, I just want to make sure you're going to get credit. So if you have any questions at all about whether or not your idea is good enough, or whether it counts as enough extra things to deserve extra credit, please talk to me. And yeah, I'm happy to help you record yourself if you're having any trouble. But that is the extra credit assignment. That's information about your final. So just a lot of dates to keep track of. Keep them straight in your mind. But there's that, the final, as well as your final projects. All right. So last week of classes for the final projects, the Wednesday, and then Monday and Tuesday of finals week for the final. All right. So I think that's all that I wanted to remind you of. Do yell at me if you have any questions about anything, and I will see you in the next one.